Hello, church. I hope that you're enjoying this good, cool fall weather. And of course, we're thankful for the moisture we're getting, right? Even if it comes cold, it's Texas. We say thank you, Lord, for every bit of rain we get out here. And so we are grateful. Probably more grateful than a guy named Herman was in Bruno, Nebraska, a couple of decades or so ago. He went out to his shed, his barn, and found that it was completely flooded, 3 feet deep. And he decided that it needed to be moved up the hill on his property about 143 feet away. And of course, the problem is, it's a barn, and it's 17,000 pounds. So what's he going to do? Well, his son, Mike, devised lattice work of steel tubing, and he nailed and bolted and welded it onto the inside and the outside of the barn. And then he put hundreds of handles on that barn. Hundreds of handles. Now, what are you going to do with that? Not that different a plan than what these Amish barn movers are doing back here behind me. 344 volunteers came to help Mike and Herman move Herman's barn, and up the hill 143 feet it went. And much like the Amish brethren helping move this barn in this video, they were able to do it in 3 minutes. You know, one of my favorite quotes, presidential, not political, is from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan said, "It's amazing what you can do when you don't care who gets the credit. It's also amazing what you can do when you have 344 volunteers willing to use their strength and their gifts and abilities to help out a neighbor," right? That's always an awesome thing. And that's always what God has planned for the church to be. In so many ways, we look at the things that God calls us to do and we can find them intimidating. He gives us some pretty big tasks like love your neighbors. And of course, we know love is not a feeling. Love is action. Love is actually going and doing things that those neighbors need done, right? It may be feeding our neighbors, which this church has helped to do today. It may mean giving some people shelter in weather like today, which this church has done multiple times today and provided at the little houses so that they can do that even more long term. All those tasks seem big, and sometimes they seem bigger than we can accomplish. We're a small church. We're not that many people right now. There are even fewer volunteers because of COVID and all that junk, right? But the truth is, Paul writes in Romans 12, 1 Corinthians 12, and Ephesians 4 that God has gifted every single one of us with gifts, talents, abilities, so that we will work like a well-oiled machine. And sometimes when you break it down far enough, it's not really that hard. Herman and Mike had devised this plan of 344 volunteers because in a 17,000-pound barn, you only lift 50 pounds at the most apiece. And those men could all lift 50 pounds. And so they moved that barn in 3 minutes. If all of us will say, "Lord, where can I be used? Where's my 50 pounds? What do you want me to do?" then we can also do anything that God calls us to do. I firmly believe that anything that God calls us to do, He equips us to do and has equipped us to do. But what's it going to take? What's going to work? I hear my kids' cartoon from their younger years in the back of my head. What's going to work? Teamwork. God's actually already given us the strength, the ability, and the gifts we need. Now we just need teamwork. And let's go out there and get those big tasks done, one little helper at a time, doing their part. God bless you, and thank you for all the times that you said yes and have worked already to help get some of these things done, because it doesn't go unnoticed, not in our community and not in the throne room of God. Have a good night.